Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel at Psych and Poetry. I am your host Nira Trap. For those of you who have always been listening to us, thank you so much. And if this is your first time here, you're welcome. Do hit that subscribe button so that you're aware of all our videos in the future. Psych and Poetry has always been about putting out psychological information in the most simplest way possible, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about ADHD, which means attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, this is a neurodevelopmental issue whereby three major aspects of your life are affected. That means your attention, it causes hyperactivity, and impulsivity. Now, the symptoms surrounding these are that you would have poor concentration levels. You might not be able to focus on a project and get it done. And even when you do get it done, it might have taken you a lot of distractions to overcome. And then also it can cause restlessness. That's where hyperactivity comes into play. Most times unnecessary motions. You might not need to move here and there, but you're always pacing and doing other things. Unnecessary motions, hyperactivity, excessive. And then when it comes to impulsivity, it means you're basically acting without thinking. So you're not weighing the pros and the cons of anything, you just act out. So you're basically being like a child. So these are some of the symptoms that are consistent with ADHD. At this point, if you have self-diagnosed or you have thought of somebody with all of these symptoms or most of it, then you might be wondering what is actually causing this thing. Why are they behaving this way? What has happened? We've always talked about the biopsychosocial model, right, of disorders, of mental disorders. That's either it's biologically caused, psychological, or social. So ADHD can be genetic, can be inherited. Sometimes it can be caused by hormonal imbalance of most times dopamine or norepinephrine. And then even stress could cause it. Having had all these symptoms, you know that it will definitely cause some negative effects in your life. If you're not able to concentrate, you're hyperactive, you're impulsive, you know that you might not be able to retain a job, you might not be able to retain a good relationship. So you're going to have difficulties in these aspects. You might not even be able to eat healthy because if you are impulsive, you might just give in to your cravings, which will lead you to not have a very healthy life. So ADHD can affect all of these things. Now, like I said, some of you have self-diagnosed though, and you have diagnosed other people, but unless you're a professional, you do not have the right to diagnose anybody as having ADHD. There's something we call DSM-5, that's Diagnostical Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. Until a person meets those criteria as stated in DSM-5, you cannot say that they have ADHD. You might see some of the symptoms, but that only means that you need to actually get professional input before you draw a conclusion, okay? So after making diagnosis, you know you have ADHD or someone has ADHD. What do you do? How do you treat it? Is it even curable? So yes, there is treatment. I'm not a professional, so I'm not going to start telling you the medication you should take, but yes, there are some medication that can be prescribed that will help. Remember I talked about hormonal imbalance, so those medication can sometimes help to correct that, or at least manage them. And then there's also psychoeducation, like what I'm doing right now, putting information out there about the concept so that you're aware, so that you can also look out for other people. And then also CBT, that's cognitive behavioral therapy, basically talk therapy, where you're able to express yourself and then you can get professional help from a therapist, a counselor, or sometimes even a medical personnel. And also lifestyle changes. There are probably things that you're doing that are causing you stress, and then that stress is causing you to have ADHD. So sometimes when you have lifestyle changes, it can help, and that's when you actually go for therapy. You're able to open up, and then your therapist can see some of the negative or some of the lifestyle changes you need to make. Sometimes even your diet can help. So thank you so much for listening into today's episode of Psych and Poetry. Do like this video and subscribe for more. See you in the next one. Ciao.